another frequently asked question that drives me crazy. But hey, if I didn't have these questions, I wouldn't be able to create content for you in the first place, now would I? Let's get to it. Does protein powder help you with fat loss or weight loss? And surprisingly, it can. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy John Mango. I'm here representing Beyond the Iron, where I drop weekly fitness content to help you get to your goals faster and more enjoyably. So if you're interested in doing so, then consider getting lighting like this. I'm kidding, just consider subscribing, alright? If you stay until the end of this video, I'm going to give you my best protein supplement recommendation. So if you're interested in knowing what I recommend to you, stay tuned. But for now, let's talk about protein. So first and foremost, okay, I want to clarify this. Let's start with this. Does protein powder directly make you lose fat? And the simple, plain answer for that is absolutely not. Not even close, okay? The reason why I say that is because in order to achieve fat and weight loss, hopefully if you've been following me for a while, you know this, but you need to be in a caloric deficit. That simply means you need to eat less than you're burning. Sorry about the reflection on here, by the way. Consuming this will not automatically put you into that deficit. As a matter of fact, you can gain lots of fat by eating this. If you're not aware, you're not tracking calories, you're not aware of how many you're eating, this could easily set you over, okay? So first and foremost, make sure that you get down to the fundamentals of fat loss, figure your calories out, and then let's see how this could play a pretty good role when it comes to helping you lose fat. Now, before I talk about how protein can help you lose fat, I do want to mention two things. One is that protein is subjective, okay? So different types of protein will react differently to different types of people. I know a lot of people that would have whey protein like I do, and it causes a lot of bloating, or their body just doesn't react well to it. So obviously when I'm referring to a certain protein supplement here, I'm really just referring to a protein supplement in general. So for you, that simply means whichever one your body reacts to best. Obviously if your body doesn't react well to a certain protein, that protein should be off limits no matter what. Second thing I want to mention and remind you of is that protein powder will always be an inferior source of protein to real food protein sources, whole food sources, okay? The reason for that is obvious. This is a powder because it's highly processed, okay? There's plenty of stuff in here, ingredients, that are not optimal when compared to real food. It won't digest as well as real food. Now there's arguments, there's studies that show bioavailability, meaning the absorption of a protein like this whey here could be higher than other foods, but even still, the digestion would buffer that out. So keep that in mind. If you have the option, if you have the choice, always go with the whole food sources. It always beats the supplements. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about how it supports and helps your fat loss, okay? Now, like I mentioned, you need to be in a deficit to lose weight. But when you're in that deficit, it's not enough to just eat less calories. You wanna make sure you're getting enough protein in your diet, because that's going to lower the chance that your body actually reaches for protein and breaks it down. In other words, breaks down muscle in order to sustain itself, okay? That's why we make sure that we get enough protein when cutting weight, to ensure that most of that weight, if not all of it, is body fat and not muscle, water, and all the rest. Now, on top of protein helping prevent your body from breaking down its muscle, it also helps with so many other things in the body, like obviously immune system, which is very important to prevent injury or sickness, which will then lead to that same problem from before, which is muscle breakdown and muscle loss, okay? So protein is vital for recovery, repair in the body. The issue is, again, like I mentioned, if you're not getting enough of it, it's going to increase the risk of muscle loss. It's also going to lower your satiety, and what that means essentially is your hunger levels are going to be very high, and this will ultimately lead to lower adherence, aka the most important part of a diet and or workout program. Lower adherence, which would then basically make you fall off completely and not see any of the results you want in the first place. So it's for these reasons that protein powder is very, very helpful when it comes to adhering to your diet, right? So beyond just the fact that it's a tub of protein and you're just consuming protein, it's not magical. It could actually, this tub, help you with adherence to your diet, which, if you recall from watching one of my previous videos, adherence is the most important factor to you sticking to and seeing the results from your diet or your workout program. Now, again, this should never be a crutch, but rather it should be an aid. I always have some on me, and if you see my vlogs, I like to have it basically every day. I value my time and convenience over the potential bigger benefit of using a real protein source instead for that specific meal. You'll see that I typically have it in my power shakes and as a pre-workout meal. So I do have 2 scoops a day, which again, I'm not going to recommend you that you have 2 scoops, and I don't recommend that you have protein in general. Of course, you got to check with the doctor and all that stuff first, but like I said, if you want to increase adherence because you find that you're super hungry throughout the day due to not hitting protein, this will help you do that. It has obviously a very good macronutrient profile, as almost all the calories are towards protein. So because of that, it's gonna help fill you up, make sure you hit those targets, prevent you from burning muscle, which is going to help performance as well. Okay, so as you see, there could be multiple benefits to this supplement. And if you know what I preach, supplements are always last on the list. However, there's only a few supplements that do work. And again, this is one of them. It doesn't cause weight or fat loss automatically, but rather it's something that you can implement into the fundamentals that will do that, and therefore make it easier for you to adhere to your diet, see the results, sustain your muscle, and look and feel better in the long term. Just make sure you're not having too much, too often, and that you get dependent on it, okay? There's still plenty of times that I could swap this out if I need or want to, and I do, okay? So that is how and why protein can help you lose weight and lose fat, okay? Adherence is ultimately king. If you don't like a certain protein source and that may be your only option, or this tastes better, it's more convenient for you, and in that case, it's gonna increase your adherence, so go with the protein powder, all right? Now, my recommendation when it comes to finding a protein, I'm not gonna recommend a specific brand. However, I'll say this is the brand that I use, okay? It's called MuscleTech's NitroTech Protein. Now, you have to look before you buy protein, which criteria you want it to meet. Price, taste, those usually aren't very important, but do you want a whey protein concentrate like this? Do you want a whey protein isolate that's a little bit higher quality? Do you want a vegan whey protein? That kind of stuff you need to take into account, okay? Some people like to go the vegan route, which means that they're gonna shell out a lot more money, but obviously for them it's worth it, or it's even necessary. So determine that for yourself. This I've determined is the best because I value price, as I go through probably a little bit more of this than most normal people do, so I don't want that to tally up as an expense month to month. So I get this off of Amazon or bodybuilding.com. I'll have links in the description below for it if you want to get your hands on some. Another good brand is Optimum Nutrition's Gold Standard Whey. Basically just look for the protein powders that meet your criteria, also making sure that the brand name is credible, okay? It's stood the test of time. It's been in the market for a long time because some brands have been known to do what's called amino spiking, where basically they're lying on the label of their protein powder. So again, credibility is another one of those criteria that you want to make sure that you meet. And with that, you'll know which protein is good for you. Don't overthink it, okay? Don't go crazy on it. It's just a supplement to help you. It's not the foundation to your program. So with that being said, thanks so much for watching. Any free resources that you want for fat loss will be linked down below as well. Thanks so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Share, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below whatever else you'd like to see. Appreciate you as always. I'll be back. See ya in the next one. I'm out.